خب همین داشتم فیلم میگرفتم. مرسی.
خوگا بشینم.
میتونی یه لطف کنی 5 دقیقه مواظب سم باشی؟
آره عزیزم.
علی رفت. سمی سحر این کار رو نکن، ما به تو نیاز داریم. نه تحمل کن اگه حتی به کی میخوای بیای اینجا بزنی؟ موقع دیدیم که بیاریش خاله. چی؟ جونه چی گفتنته؟ به
My name's Jane and I'll be introducing you to our very special birds here this afternoon. They usually have 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch and dinner. This is meal number 6 today, so could you please bear with us because they might not be that hungry. So I'll do my very best to introduce you to as many as possible, and I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that some of them will take some fish, but if they don't, just keep in mind it's not worse for me than it is for you if they're not eating. Alright, just a quick reminder, if you do need to turn flashes back on your cameras please. Very good reason for this. These birds have fantastic eyesight, particularly underwater. They also have very, very light sensitive eyes, similar to those of nocturnal animals, so your camera flash can damage their eyes, so very, very important that So does everybody know what sort of penguins, I've just said it, what sort of penguins these are? You have your clue. No, a bit of time on somebody's spot in sleep. What are they? Little penguins. And they are, they're known as little penguins. That was a really tough one, wasn't it? Anybody heard them referred to by any other names? Apart from very spoiled, but penguins, these ones. If they molt, if you get too close, if you frighten them, they'll become heat stressed, and the chances are they won't make it. So particularly on a day like today. So please do be very sympathetic towards those poor wild penguins. The birds we have here, as you can see, don't mind people at all. They're quite used to being looked at. They don't mind standing out in the open. Great for photo opportunities. Really nice to be able to see them in the pool there, and they're not at all stressed, even after so many people visiting them today. So the reason we keep these penguins in here is of course that you can get close up to the penguins, learn a little bit about these gorgeous birds without having to disturb the wild ones. The birds in here have all at some stage been rescued as injured adults or abandoned chicks. So from time to time, unfortunately, we do have to to release them. That is, of course, our aim. And we are usually successful in rarely have birds who are unable to release. The birds in here, though, over the years have all been deemed just that, unsuitable for release. But as I said, it's a great opportunity for you to get close up to little penguins. By keeping these birds here, you actually get the chance to see a little penguin on Penguin Island, which for most of the year is actually not possible, certainly during the daytime. In fact, for most of the year, we probably should call the island Seagull Island rather than Penguin Island. Still lots of them around at the moment. We do actually have the largest breeding colony of little penguins here in Western Australia. The numbers at the moment estimated to be at around 1,000 adult birds. So Penguin Island is a really special place for these birds. They are the only species of penguin that you find living and breeding in Australia. Little penguins found all around the southern coastline, all around Tasmania, of course, and also in New Zealand. But as I said, Penguin Island, the largest breeding colony in Western Australia. See if I can get Sassy to come over. The penguins in here range in ages from the very youngest bird is 15 weeks old. His name is Splash, with his head up out of the pool at the moment and very pale eyes. Splash was rescued as quite a young chick. He'd been dragged around the beach by the seagulls. Some visitors found him. He was very badly cut, very badly bruised, absolutely tiny, very, very thin, wasn't expected to survive. Ordinarily, when we rescue young birds, it's very easy to get them back out into the wild, but little Splash there, the exception. So, as a wild bird, he would now be fully grown and fully independent. He's fully grown, but not so independent, unfortunately, so he had to stay here. This one here is Sassy. Sassy is the next up in age, so we go from 15 weeks old to Sassy at 8 years old, and then we go all the way up to Lou, who's now 20 years old. So 20 years is a fantastically good age for a little penguin. Just shows how well looked after these little birds are in here. In the wild, 7 to 10 years is the average life expectancy. So some of our penguins in here doing particularly well. On average in a day, our penguins here on a normal day, over 3 meals, we'll eat around 40 or 50 of these small schooling fish in a day. But prior to molting, they can eat quite a lot more. Piggy, who's sadly no longer with us, he was, of course, our penguin with the record for eating the most amounts of fish. He lived to well over 20, so he did very well. But Piggy, in one day prior to molting, managed to eat 250 of these fish. So these birds really well all his stomach. As you can see, Sassy is a little bit spoiled. Sassy's actually feeding as if he were a chick. And Sassy's not. Sassy's 8 years old. So these birds are quite spoiled. They get everything their way. They're really good at training the humans, and we're not so good at training the penguins. To train these birds, we need to make them go hungry. And they'll go for days without food, and we're usually the ones that give in first. As a result, we have 5 who refuse to feed, but it is something we're working on. So breeding for little penguins takes place mainly in the winter months, but it does go from June right through until November. They do, of course, nest in burrows. They dig burrows under the thick vegetation where the female lays 2 little round white eggs. They share the information with the eggs, and they take it in turns. They take 5 weeks to hatch. When they hatch, they're quite tiny. They weigh about 20-25 grams. 2 little penguin chicks fit snugly into the palm of your hand. Parent birds continue to share the care of the young for a very short time, just 9 to 10 weeks. These birds are fully grown and also fully independent. So, not surprisingly, not too many survive their first year. Here, only 3 in 10 are expected to do so. Fortunately, they will double brood on occasion if there's plenty of fish around. And
the whole chain of islands, most of Pringle Island is a nature reserve, so when you're there, we do ask that you keep the pathways and the beaches and the vegetation. We also have penguins singing above us. A lot of other birds are nesting there as well, so just keep to the pathways and the beaches. At this time of year, if you do see penguins, they're probably molting and it's shedding their feathers, which means they can't swim. So they aren't very vulnerable. If you do see any penguins, just keep your distance from them and don't stress about it too much. So just keep part of the beaches. There are no snakes on the island. Don't need to worry about snakes, but you might come across some big skinks, which are lizard. 30-40 centimetres long, they really mean a snake in First Nation, so if you see a snake, just think about lizards and skinks, can't find harmless. Snakes at all. Other animals you might come across though are occasionally seals. If you come across any seals, don't get bitten by them. Get bitten by that seal, we end up with a lot of paperwork which you don't like. So just keep your distance, about 5 or 10 metres away from them. Don't surround them. If they get surrounded, they'll feel threatened and can get aggressive. So just keep one side, 5 or 10 metres away, and they shouldn't do any harm.
The reason for this is they're molting penguins. Have you managed to spot penguins? You've been wandering around the island today? No? Yeah? You're okay? Do they look very hot, very fat, very fluffy, miserable looking? Yeah. So we've actually rescued two that look really, really miserable today. So molting is, for those of you who don't recognize when they lose all their old feathers and grow through a new coat. I can't believe anybody's still hungry. So once a year, these penguins need to replace all their old feathers with new ones. They do it over a 2 or 3 week period, happening at the moment. But while they're molting, 1, 2, 3 along this Jerry, see how fat and fluffy and miserable she looks? Can you imagine her going for a swim and trying to catch her own fish? Do you think she'd be a good swimmer at the moment? No, she's not very streamlined at all, is she? And she's actually not, she knows what I'm talking about her, she's actually not properly waterproof either. While these birds are, well, we're going to look to it, aren't we? While these birds are molting, they're not waterproof, they can't go swimming. So for wild birds, the 2 or 3 weeks it takes them to complete their molt, they can't eat. So of course that's why they double their weight prior to molting, to give them the energy needed to survive that fasting period. And these not really hungry at all, just friends. And these birds also have really, really thick coats of feathers. They spend 80% of their lives at sea. Very important they stay nice and dry, well insulated while they're out in the water, and so they have very thick coats of feathers, 4 times thicker or 4 times more dense than most other birds. And to grow an entire new coat of feathers so thick in such a short amount of time uses a lot of energy. So our birds in here, Jerry, must have eaten nearly 50 fish at lunchtime. That's
این اشکاله موشی مثل موی من میدونم خیلی من آقا
Do you have a phone number there?
We don't have a base phone.
Well, how about I give you a call and you It seemed a bit mad that I had to come up here and volunteers get all this information. By that time, it had turned into 14. So we were only on, you know, significant. So even though we're faster than we were, so I'll give you a card.
Yok, بزنید الان چیکار کنم اینجا پیپی مرغابیه اوکیه برای شما
پلپل اورنج که نخوردی پلپل اورنج همون من این که توی مرغابی
چیزی گیرم
اینا احتمالا با بوت‌های خودشون اومدن آقا
آفرین الان علی که ما رو کش می‌فهمی اینو شسته بود تحت نظر من بزنم به خودم
بچه یعنی واقعا نمره 22 میخواد بذاریم چی داشته اونه یا محبت
من ننداختم قربونت برم با سم صحبت کن رمزن یه خوش میشه
گم شدن لولی
چی میگی شما؟ دست تو رو شده برام
دست گل شما درد
مادر بزرگ هستی صندوق بیا در آورد
من همچون بودم نمیره تو تنه بدن اینا جاهایی هم میذاشتم
نرفتی سن بابا
با میگیریم
من باید اینجوری کنم
چرا اینجوری میکنی؟
اینجا خوشه اینجا هم آفتاب